voice is barely hanging
I
on.
had my first logos in the
Disgusting.
CLA airport 20 years ago. Some one was a health kiosk, and I was just grabbing whatever I could find. That's what nuts. Get it, Jake. You got one out of way.
Those things in the discussion. So, I don't know when, but they can open soon. Yeah, they should be opening soon. John. We'll take questions. We'll start with Keegan on your left.
Hey, John. Where's your head at right now? How are you feeling?
Man, it's hard, you know. Had my first team meeting of the year after the game. There's so many things to unpack there, not just the series as a whole. 7 games, 2 of them go to extras. I thought we played great baseball. Both teams having chances there late. I feel for the guys. You know what I mean? This is a special group of guys. That being said, I am so proud of them, of the entire organization, really. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. We've set a new expectation and a new standard here, and did it with a lot of hard work, did it with a lot of cohesiveness, and man, it's tough to say bye to this group.
This feels like a team that we'll be asking you about 10, 15 years from now, too. When I ask you about the 2025 Blue Jays, what are you going to remember?
All of them, you know what I mean? Like, literally all of them. It's not very often you get a group together that genuinely likes one another and genuinely cares about one another. And I'm talking about their wives, their kids, you know, and them. It's a special group. And I think Blue Jay fans for generations are going to remember this team, not just what we accomplished, but how we went about it.
Go to Shy straight ahead.
John, you said you held your first team meeting. What did you want to say to your players?
I said thank you. I said thank you probably about 10 times. And that was the main message. You know, I'm sure I'm going to talk to them all again, but I said thank you. I said I'm sorry that we're feeling this way right now. It definitely could have been the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of emotions. So I said thank you. And this is a group that I'm never going to forget. They're going to have a place in my heart, every single one of them. So that was the gist of it.
John, with all the good things that have happened this year and all the things you mentioned to be proud of, how does that ending impact the feeling that this group may leave with?
It'll hurt for a few days, a few weeks, when you're that close. You know, the positive person in me will take some time to digest it, and I'll go back to Bo's homer in Texas, George's Canada Day. So many things I'll go back to and be proud of, but I think right now you just have to kind of, I don't know, take in what happened. You know what I mean? But going forward, you know, the beauty of baseball is that it goes on. You know, there'll be spring training in February. So that being said, you take away the sacrifices the guys made, the way they went about it, the performances everyone had, and kind of just the cohesiveness of the team.
And Bo, with that swing, he essentially had his signature moment,
Yeah.
even though it did end up a win. Just what was your view on Bo, and what was your feeling for Bo having that moment?
That was right up there with George's homer against Seattle. You know, for a guy that has been a staple of this team for the past 6 or 7 years, to have Vlad intentionally walked, and then he went dead center on the first pitch. It was so fitting. You know, it felt right at the time. And in terms of Bo, what he did this year is nothing short of amazing. What he did to get back is nothing short of amazing. He's playing on one leg. So in the moment, it felt right. You know what I mean? And, you know, for guys like him, George, Varsh, Kirky, you know, guys that have been here, you know, I feel for them because they deserve to be on the stage right now.
Go to Mike straight ahead.
Hey, John, when you look back at this game, do you see it as a couple of heavyweights going at it back and forth, or do you see it as you guys had all the chances that you wanted to have to win it?
A little bit of both. I thought we had had chances to sweep them. You know, I thought that we played our game, and our game is as good as anybody in baseball. So is it two heavyweights going back and forth? You know, going back to the beginning of this series when people were calling it David versus Goliath, it's not even fucking close. So they're good. I put this group of guys against any other 26 players in the entire planet. Yeah, we had our chances. We had our chances to beat them soundly, you know, and we didn't, and that's baseball.
When you had opportunities, both last night and tonight, with the guys you want up in those situations, you want Ernie up with second and third and nobody out. You want Kirk up when you need contact. How does that feel in the dugout when you're going in those spots? You
like it, you know what I mean? You want the game to be decided by the players, and I think that throughout this series it was, and we came up short. You know what I mean? I'll relive those bases loaded at bats for a long time, but man, I've said it so many times. I trust everyone on this roster, and you know, you want to let them decide the outcome of the World Series. You know, that was an epic World Series. You know what I mean? For a variety of different reasons. So at the end of the day, you know, players, they can become legends or they can be this close. You know what I mean? And we were this close, and, you know, I'm just proud that we went about it the right way.
Do a couple more. John in the second row on your right.
Hey, John. What did you think of Max Scherzer's performance tonight?
I thought Max was really good. I thought he was, you know, exactly what we thought he would be in a big game. And it's a testament to him, man. He's 41 years old. He's throwing 96. He's making pitches. I thought he was awesome. You know, in games like this, you know, you usually think starts are going to be short, you know what I mean? But there's no one I trusted more than Max in that situation, you know, bottom of the order. And I thought he handled everything extremely well, and he gave us exactly what we needed.
Do you think tonight was his last game in Major League Baseball?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
Go straight back near the cameras.
John, to win a championship, you have to perform, but you also need a little bit of luck.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed as though a lot of the bad breaks went against you guys, ball in the fence and losing a game in 18. And tonight you get two hard hit balls to infielders that don't go through, a couple of also close calls on strikes and balls there at the end that don't go your way. Do you feel like there was a little bit of lack of luck on your side?
Yeah. I mean, to be the last team standing, a lot of things have to happen. You have to perform. You have to make good decisions. You have to make plays. You know, I think that's why it hurts so much. Himmy hitting the ball I don't know how Muncy caught that. Izzy just not getting there, and Will almost coming off the plate. We played so good defensively too. Double play from Vlad, Varsha's catch. Yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen in order to win it. You know what I mean? And we did everything that we needed to do. It felt like. So I think that's why it stings. You know, just a little bit more.
Take two last ones. Sixth row on your left.
John, how would you describe the Dodgers as a team?
Talented.
One more for John. We'll finish up with Mike.
John, can I ask you about Vlad? I mean, today he had the one hit, but it came on the double in the 11th. He makes three terrific defensive plays. If this game had gone the other way, he's probably the World Series MVP. What did you see from him tonight?
Exactly what we saw the entire postseason. Vladimir took his game to another level, and I think for players that are here and that are going to be here and that are going to be here in the future, knowing that we got 14 more years of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing complete baseball is an awesome thing for our team and for our fans.
And Ernie sets the record with 30 hits in the postseason. And, in the first round, one of the TV commentators said nobody's ever heard of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You've watched him for a couple of years. What did you think of his postseason and his game tonight?
Historic, it's you don't see that very often. We're talking about really good pitchers, right-handers, left-handers, Ernie had a phenomenal year. I hope he wins a Gold Glove. He should. And he kind of became one of the faces of our team because of the way he plays. Unbelievable run that he was on this entire postseason. And, man, he's turned himself into what people think was a waiver wire pickup or a guy that's, you know, kicked around the minors. He's turned himself into a everyday major leaguer that is going to contribute to win a world championship.
All right, John, just an incredible postseason for the AL champs. Thank you so much. Appreciate
and
it.
I don't want to leave without saying congratulations to Dave and the Dodgers. It's a hard-fought series, you know, and it sucks we're not the last team standing. But to Dave and his staff and his team, congratulations.
Oh, incredible World Series. You should be so proud, John. Thank you.
Guys.
One of the guys that's on the other side right now, his call time was 9. Up there, 2025. It's not going to happen this year, but we will, at the very least, in 2026, see the 2025 American League champion banner go up. There's lots to be proud of this season, and that is something that is going to be memorable, something to look forward to, despite this memorable for all the wrong reasons loss today. The celebration here on the field is likely to continue well into the night. It is a bit chaotic here, to say the least. We've heard some speeches. We've seen a lot of hugs and elation, quite the opposite of the feeling from the Blue Jays, their families. At one point, when we were in the hallway waiting to come onto the field to witness this, we saw crews working for the LA Dodgers run in with World Series champion hats and T-shirts. And I feel like for us, that's when it sunk in, like, oh, this may be over. It came after that Will Smith home run, and indeed, that was the nail in the coffin, so to speak, Adrian.
Okay, Thomas Egg at the Rogers Center on the field. Thank you very, very much, Thomas. I want to show you a clip of a great pitcher, Shane Bieber.
That's a sentiment that we all kind of share personally, and that's very clear. And, there's a lot of love in this room.
Is that raw emotion both the way the game was lost and also how close you guys are?
Yeah.
And those two things.
Yeah.
When you said one of the toughest things is not going to be being around the guys after today.
Yeah. Can echo that. It's just a extremely special group. It's an absolute pleasure to come in here every day. So it'll be a rough adjustment.
When you talk about this group being a special group, what does that mean to you? What's special about these guys? What's brought you guys together?
A lot of intangibles, some things that are difficult to describe. The grit, the perseverance, the togetherness, the pull for one another. It's not just one guy. It's it's the whole clubhouse. So we'll do our best to focus on that.
Who did you go to first, Shane, after that loss? Who was your first hug, your first conversation, your first?
I don't know. It was pretty quiet in here for a little bit. I think we all have our emotions that we need to sort through, and I think we're wearing this one together as we succeed and fail together.
Can you take us through the Will Smith at bat?
Yeah, hung a slider to a great guy that hits sliders well. 2-0, and he was looking for it, and I didn't execute.
Is there incentive for you? You talk about the camaraderie and how much you like this group. Is there incentive for you to try and make sure you're here?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's going to be hard to replicate what this group's brings to the table day in and day out. Doesn't make too much sense right now, but like I said, I'm extremely grateful to be a part of it.
What did Max surge him into this room? What was it like to play alongside him?
All right, so that was Shane Bieber. It is kind of a fascinating thing when you realize the character of a team, when each person who goes up to a microphone, each player, takes responsibility for what they did. There's no shade being thrown at anyone else. There is no throwing a team under the bus, blaming anybody else. It's, I wish I had done this. I want that back. So we're hearing a little bit of that. We're going to hear a little bit more. Let's go to Hoffman right now.
Yeah, just sucks. Supposed to end differently. Just one pitch, and yeah.
What are you feeling? Can you try to verbalize what it is that's actually happening for you? I mean, we were all preparing for the celebrations, and
yeah, I mean, I cost everybody in here a World Series ring, so feels pretty shitty. Just gotta execute better in that spot, and not let that happen.
Can you talk about the first conversation you had at the end of that? Who did you go to? What was the first hug? What was that first word of advice, of encouragement that you got after?
Coaching staff just letting me know that it's a tie game and we just win from here. That message never really changes from the staff. They're a very consistent group, and it's one of the reasons we love them so much.
Sounds like you're blaming yourself a bit for it. These guys, they said they would have had you out there time and time over and over again.
Well, I mean, we were 2 outs away from the World Series, and I was the one on the mound, so yeah.
Again, we said it moments ago, but that's a terrible sentence.
Dodgers. We'll get the microphone to Kevin to start.
Congratulations! I like the goggles. It's a nice look.
Yeah.
That game was full of history, and I'm sure you'll find out about all the history. But part of it was you passed Tommy Lasorda for most for World Series titles. I think Walt Charleston actually has more. But what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's hard to reconcile that one. I've just got so much respect for Tommy and what he did in the game, and so I'm just right now I'm just really elated and really proud of our team, our guys, the way we fought, and we've done something that hasn't been done in decades. And there were so many, as we talked earlier, so many pressure points and how that game could have flipped, and we just kept fighting, and guys stepped up big. So I could just go on and on about the big plays, the big performances, and this is one of the greatest games I've ever been a part of. And this whole series and what the Blue Jays did, and they gave us everything they had, and just such a first-class organization.
You can smell the champagne from here. You pressed the right button at every juncture, especially tonight, but throughout this series. I don't even know what the question is. Can you talk a little bit about how you
I just think it just goes down to just trusting your players. And, it's nice when you can look down the roster and have 26 guys that you believe in and know that at some point in time their number's going to be called. And that's kind of what happened. And so, Miggy Rowe, I talk about the game honors you, and right there, the game honored him. He does things the right way, and he deserved that moment. And what Yoshi did tonight, is unprecedented, in modern day baseball. And, just the young guys coming out there with the arms and just the big plays. And again, it's been a long season, man. We started out in Tokyo and ended up north of the border. So just proud of this group of guys.
Good. Jack in the second row.
Dave, what was the mood in the dugout like when Miguel was coming up there in the ninth, and just being able to manage that game with the way it started and the deficit you guys faced? What did it show you about your club that you guys were able to come back there?
We were going to play 27 outs, and obviously it doesn't look great, in that moment. But I trust him to take the at bat, and he got a pitch that he could handle and hit the biggest hit he's ever had in his life. And obviously at that point in time we felt real good about it, and we needed a next level performance from Yama, and we got it.
Can you walk through just the pitching maneuvers from Snell to Yama and then sticking with him once you got to the 11th, just kind of what was going through your brain those last couple innings?
Yeah, I'm still trying to unpack it. Yeah, Snell was good. I just felt that, he gave us what he had, and I think Glass pitched before him. Honestly, I just kind of try to push guys as much as they could, and, having Emmett in there and, Robo doing his thing, got some big outs. And for me at that point in time, I wanted to give, Roki or Yamamoto an opportunity to keep the game, at bay. And then, once he did that, he felt confident that he could stay in his delivery, wasn't going to compromise health. And then at that point in time, even for that third up, he said, Daijobu, means I'm okay. And so for me, I just trusted him, and he came up big again.
We've asked you about the dynasty question a couple times over the years. I mean, do you look at this as cementing that? Just what does going back to back and winning 3 and 6 years kind of mean to what you guys have put together here?
I mean, we've put together something pretty special. I do know that. I'm proud of, the players, for the fans, scouting, player development, all this stuff. To do what we've done in this span of time is pretty remarkable. And I guess I'll let the pundits and all the fans talk about if it's a dynasty or not. But I'm pretty happy with where we're at.
Go to Steve and then Jim.
Congratulations. I want to ask you a couple questions about Yamamoto. You've dealt with pitchers before. Is there something in his physiology, the way he approaches, what he did tonight is sort of unheard of?
It's unheard of, and I think that there's a mind component. There's a delivery, which is a flawless delivery, and there's just an unwavering will. I just haven't seen it. I really haven't. And, all that combined, and there's certain players that want moments, and there's certain players that, want it for the right reasons. But, Yoshi is a guy that I just completely, implicitly trust, and he's made me a pretty dang good manager.
Are there things, though, that's just part of his makeup? Does he throw differently? Because you usually are not able to do what he did tonight, throw a lot of pitches. And then is there something just in his style?
Well, it's he uses his body very efficiently. And it's the whole engine that works and not just the arm. So he's just very efficient with his delivery.
Can you just expand?
I can't go into all that. That's not. No.
Okay.
No.
We'll go to Jim.
I guess my first question would be, how do you say bulldog in Japanese?
Yeah, good question. We got a lot of people that can answer that question.
I mean, what he did tonight, what Buehler did in the ninth inning last year. I mean, similarities, differences. What did you see?
Yeah, similarities. Walker is obviously in Dodger lore, and Yoshi just put himself right there with him. Throwing 100 pitches and come back after a 1 day off and going 3 innings. It's pretty crazy. I'm kind of crazy for sending him back out there, but I just felt he was the best option. And again, it's something that I just never imagined. But you got to trust players, and I believed in him. We all believed in him, and yeah, this game again, I'm having a hard time unpacking it. Just what a great series, what a great game, and I think we're going to be talking about this game for a long time.
And the other thing, I mean, you guys started in March in Japan. You started before anybody else, and you're the last team standing. And there's been a lot of ups and downs this season. I mean, if you could put that into a few words, what this roller coaster has been like this year.
Yeah, I mean, you can look back at the miles that we've logged this year. I think Brene Brown comes to mind. Grit, the real definition of grit, passion, and perseverance for a long-term goal, and we never wavered. And it's a long season. We started, as you said, in Tokyo, and we kept going, and we persevered, and we were the last team standing.
Go to Anthony, fifth row, straight back.
Doc, congrats. As you said, this was not just a great game, but a great series, and people talk about in baseball mapping out innings or whatever. There was so many things that happened in the series that could not have been mapped out, especially the 18
It wasn't
game.
mapped out.
What can you say about just these two teams just emptying the tank against each other?
That's what it's about. I mean, those guys, I got so much respect for what John does with his team and his staff and organization, and they gave us everything we had. It was just a brawl, and both teams fighting and punching back and responding, and yeah, I mean, it's just I'm speechless. I really am. I mean, it's going to go down in one of the ages, Anthony. And as I'm answering, I kind of forgot your question. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Just that you used your entire rotation.
Yeah.
Game 7. It's like these are things that we don't.
Yeah, and I think the thing is that you look at around the room and you just see guys, and everyone wants to participate. And you just got to figure out when's the right time to call their number and know, when to bet on them, when to push them, when to pull the plug. And it just makes it a lot easier where I just know these guys are ready for whatever moment that I ask of them.
Do a couple last ones. Yuka in the third row.
Congratulations. I know Yoshinobu did really well, but this season and this whole year, you had 3 Japanese players and participated with the Dodgers. And how do you evaluate those 3 players?
They were all different. I think Shohei obviously has the weight of the world on his shoulders as far as expectations, being probably the face of baseball. Certainly when you're talking about the world and what he did on, he's going to be the MVP in the National League. It's just really special what he's done, and just a great person and a great competitor. Yoshinobu, is one of the top pitchers in all of baseball. I think he's shown that this postseason and this year. And Roki, Roki's a young player who really had a tough time early and found a way to kind of get back to being healthy and really contribute in a huge way. And so there's a lot of growth in Roki this year. And I know the people in Japan are very proud of their players, and we're just very lucky to have them.
One last one for Doc. I will finish up right there on the left. We'll get you the microphone.
I'm just curious to know, with the offense struggling the way it was throughout the series, how does that impact the way you manage the pitching staff? What's the feeling in the dugout, knowing that this team really hasn't hit in the way that prior World Series champions have historically? How did you work that out with the pitching staff?
Yeah, you got to sort of, they were grinding, but yeah, we didn't swing the bats, all postseason like we're capable of. So I think it's just more of you're really trying to, on the margins, prevent as many runs as you can, because it wasn't really expecting an offensive game. And so certainly in a do or die Game 7, you're trying to do the best you can to prevent runs. But, Miggy's hit, Will Smith's hit, just huge hits. And again, I'm just exhausted.
Well, we're so happy for you. Congratulations, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We're expecting Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and as soon as we have a read on timing, we'll let everybody know.
Here tonight, but it has been special to watch this team. I just saw a post a second ago. Alejandro Kirk's broken bat still lays on the infield inside the Rogers Center. It was a bit of a gutting photo because that broken bat.
That ended it.
That ended it.
I just want to throw back to the tape because it's Trey Savage. What an amazing guy.
I'm sure it's going to take a little bit because this one stings. This one's looming over everything else that's happened. So it's definitely going to take a little bit to realize everything that happened.
You've only been here for a short time, but this group is so tight-knit, and just talk about this locker room.
It's a brotherhood here. Everyone has each other's backs. Everyone wants to perform for the team, not themselves. So, I mean, it's a real special thing that we had here.
Your veteran pitchers, what was your experience with them like this year, as you had to kind of learn a lot in a short period of time?
Yeah, they definitely helped me out. They pretty much told me the ins and outs of professional baseball and what to expect and how to adapt and face adversity.
Does anything jump out, or one teammate that really spent a lot of time with you?
All of them had their own separate parts.
What was it like being Max's teammate? If this is just the 1 year, what will you remember playing with him?
It's special. Max is a great guy, great teammate, and love to have him in this locker room. So, I mean, he's kind of taken me under his wing and like just crafted me into a better baseball player.
The bulk of your second injury career so far has been in the postseason. What spring training have you done?
I don't know. I wasn't in big league spring training last year, so we'll see what happens.
Trey, how does that happen? 22-year-old kid goes from playing in the minors to pitching.
That was interesting.
22 years old, and everything in front of him, Adrian. He started this season in minor leagues, finds his way onto the roster. It was really impressive how the veterans, like he just talked about, Max Scherzer, really wrapped their arms around this young pitcher. And boy, did he live up to perhaps no expectations, and now all the expectations, right?
I mean, I wonder if in a way, the first time you do something scary, you don't always know where the scary parts of the thing are. You're just sort of not blithely, but you're just walking through it with all the belief of invincibility. Do you think that sort of helped him a little bit?
That is such a good point. So almost naive to the stage. He pitched against the New York Yankees of baseball, the lore, the history, and he walked into that, had 11 strikeouts in his first Major League Baseball playoff game. Spectacular. Then he beats the Dodgers. I mean, Trey Savage, at 22 years old, just walked onto that mound. He said, I was made for this. I was born for this. And he believed that, and then he did it. The Jays found a gem. And the other night, I went back, and I watched his draft night when he was surrounded by family and friends, and the Blue Jays drafted him. They look like geniuses now, don't they? But it was such a genuine, sincere celebration. The same celebrations we saw from his family in the stadium time and time
His
again. Dad crying. Such a well-spoken young man, like I said, who has everything in front of him. And he wasn't making a lot of money at the start of this season. I think he has written
a much better paycheck today?
He certainly has, Adrian.
I hope so. All right. Addison, just 1 second. We're because the camera is moving through the dressing room, we're just trying to figure out where it is landing. Addison Barger is there. Why don't we
grinded
listen
to the very end, you know, we gave it everything we had, and it didn't go the way we wanted, but I think there's a lot to be proud of for everybody in here.
Ernie said one of the toughest things is going to be not being around the guys, just having to go home and not having the guys around.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, they're family here, we're a family, just such a tight group. I don't think it gets better than this as far as a group of guys and a baseball team. So it's going to be tough being away from everybody. Yeah.
Talk about the emotions of this game, which included the dugouts and bullpen clearing. Have you experienced that before?
Yeah. I mean, it happens. The bench is clear and stuff, but I didn't really think too much of it. I was like, the best thing we can do is try to beat them, at the end of the day, and I think that's what we tried to do.
Addison, what can you say about the impact that Yamamoto had on this series, and particularly this game?
Yeah, he's one of the best arms in the game. He did a great job. Kind of freaky that he came in and pitched today after yesterday. I mean, I don't know what they're doing over there or how he did that, but without his arm falling off at least. But I tip the cap to him. He did a great job.
Addison, what can you say about the month and the night that Bo had getting back to be able to do what he did?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. It wasn't easy for him to play through that injury and take a chance and do that for us. But we're all super proud of him, and just him coming in the first place, just coming back and playing in the World Series for us through that injury speaks a lot about him. But not only that, and doing what he does, hit, and he did that.
For yourself and for the team.
Okay, so that was Addison Barger, and moments before he went up to the microphone, John Schneider walked up to him and just gave him one of those sort of patented John Schneider bear hugs.
Yeah.
Why especially did he deserve that tonight?
Because of how the last two nights ended, and for being on the front page of the newspaper with his head down, wondering what might have been thrown out at second base last night. Runners on second and third when the score was 3-1. It seemed as though the Jays might have something brewing, and then a line drive to outfield where Barger is off second base trying to make a move. Picked off at second. That ends the game, and here tonight he's on first base. Vladdy is on third. Kirk is batting, and Barger gets thrown out at second. Kirk at first. It's over. And so that is a cruel pill for Barger, and classy again. I mean, we're saying this over and over, Adrian, and I hope you at home watching are getting the sense of what this team is. This is special to be getting this insight, these thoughts from the players as we work around the locker room, because they are meeting the moment when they don't want to be facing the press?
No. The people who do want to face the press,
Yeah.
though, are the Dodgers.
Surely.
And they're taking questions right now. Why don't we listen to them?
Do a couple last ones. Yuka in the third row.
Congratulations. I know Yoshinobu did really well, but this season and this whole year, you had 3 Japanese players and participated with the Dodgers. And how do you evaluate those 3 players?
They were all different. I think Shohei obviously has the weight of the world on his shoulders as far as expectations, being probably the face of baseball. Certainly when you're talking about the world and what he did on, he's going to be the MVP in the National League. It's just really special what he's done, and just a great person and a great competitor. Yoshinobu is one of the top pitchers in all of baseball. I think he's shown that this postseason and this year. And Roki, Roki's a young player who really had a tough time early and found a way to kind of get back to being healthy and really contribute in a huge way. And so there's a lot of growth in Roki this year. And I know the people in Japan are very proud of their players, and we're just very lucky to have them.
One last one for Doc. We'll finish up right there in the left. We'll get you the microphone.
I'm just curious to know, with the offense struggling the way it was throughout the series, how does that impact the way you manage the pitching staff? What's the feeling in the dugout, knowing that this team really hasn't hit in the way that prior World Series champions have historically? How did you work that out with the pitching?
Yeah, you got to sort of, they were grinding, but yeah, we didn't swing the bats, all postseason like we're capable of. So I think it's just more of you're really trying to, on the margins, prevent as many runs as you can, because it wasn't really expecting an offensive game. And so certainly in a do or die Game 7, you're trying to do the best you can to prevent runs. But Miggy's hit, Will Smith's hit, just huge hits. And again, I'm just exhausted.
Well, we're so happy for you. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Dave.
Thank you.
Interesting, facing questions about the Japanese players in there, Otani in particular.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how well known it is, Adrian, that Dave Roberts was born in Japan, Okinawa, and so he has a very kindred connection to that country. I have great friends in Japan who are thrilled. They have become Dodgers fans because of the Japanese talent on the team. So that is special for Dave Roberts. An interesting point about the bats on the Dodgers, usually explosive. Their batting average throughout the World Series, 204 is the worst batting average to win a World Series.
All right, Yoshinobu, congratulations. The Willie Mays World Series Most Valuable Player, the World Champion Dodgers. So we'll get started. Who has the first question? We'll start in the back left corner.
First, congratulations. And the other day, Doc told us that before the series, you said losing wasn't an option. Obviously, no player wants to lose, but for you to say that and then produce the series you did, how do you just handle that from a mental side of things and execute?
シリーズ、ワールドシリーズ始まる前に負けは選択肢の中にないっていうことがあったんですけども、そこをその通りにするようなシリーズになったことに対してどう思いますか？
今日、ドジャースがワールドチャンピオンで、締めくくることができて、すごくやりきったなっていう達成感、喜びを感じますし、本当に、全員が、出し切ったので、僕は今日2日連続で投げましたけど、他の選手もコンディションギリギリでももうできることを全部やって、プレー、したので、本当に気持ちが一つになった、結果だと思います。
I think first off, I pitched it two days in a row. However, because all the players, they were playing, right on the edge of, because of their condition. So as a result, because we were able to close this series by our victory. That was great.
A couple more in English before we go to Japanese. Anything else in English? We'll do one last one in English, and then we'll go to Japanese.
I'm just curious, you've pitched an awful lot over the last few days. How do you feel physically after what people consider to be a historic performance?
ここ2日で、球数的に結構投げたんですけども、体調的にはどうですか？
今は、すごくいいですけど、ブルペンで作り始めた時はまだ、投げれるっていう確信がなくて、この体調的にも、もちろん投球はできますけど、この、7戦という試合で、絶対落とせなかったんで、その責任もありますし、どうだろうっていうまだ、迷いというか、そういったのがあったんですけど、温まっていくうちに、それもほぐれていけるぞっていう、とこまで持っていけたので、いけると、言いました。
When I started, at the bullpen before I went in, to be honest, I was not really sure if I could pitch out there at my best ability. But as I started getting warmed up, because I started making a little bit adjustment, and then I started thinking I can go in and then do my job.
All right, we'll take questions in Japanese. We'll start with Dylan on your left.
単純に今どれくらい疲れてます？
肩肘がっていうより、本当にこうなんていうんだろう、この体がドットというかなんていうんだろう、もうやりきったなっていう、そんな感じです。
で今日投げるっていうその話っていうのは首脳陣から持ってこられたのか、あるいはその山本投手から首脳陣に今日は投げてみたいとかっていう。
まず昨日投げ終わって、最終登板だと思ってたんで、そのずっと練習を教わってる矢田先生に、1年間ありがとうございましたっていうように伝えたんですけど、明日ブルペンで投球できるぐらいには持っていこうかって言われて、一応っていうか、なんていうんだろう、ブルペンに、いるだけで何かこう力になるならと思ったところが始まりで、帰って矢田先生に治療してもらって、で今日も起きてこっち来る前にホテルで治療してから、で動作のアドバイスというか、今日は体こんな感じだからっていう、こんな感じで動いていこうかみたいな感じの、まだ、投げるというかじゃなくて、で練習してみたらすごい感覚が良くて、なんか本当になんて言うんだろう、気づいたらマウンドにいました。
最初にやってみようかって言ったのはその矢田先生だったんですか、それともコーチ？
まず矢田先生がなんて言うんだろう、最後ブルペンになんて言うんだろうな、こうブルペンで投げれる姿を見せるだけでも、勝負っていうのはこう何か、空気が変わったり、そういうのもあるしみたいな感じでどんどん乗せられました。いやでも本当に感謝します。はい。
Stay in the same row.
実際に昨日この場で明日プレーする選手は大変だと思うというふうに言われてたんですけど、実際プレーしてみていかがでした？
大変。いやでもやっぱりやりきったから、このなんていうんだろう、今まで感じたことないような喜びも今感じてますし、本当にやりきったからこそこうやってよかったなって今は思えるので、今後の自分のなんていうんだろう、また一つ成長につながったと、成長というかそんなもんじゃないですけど、すごい一日になりましたし、また一つ、なんかこうレベルの上がったような、そんな感じがします。
Stay in the same row.
お疲れ様でした。園田通訳が勝負パンツを履いていて、昨日のを今日持ち越しで履いて、今日やっぱ投げるよかもしれないというところで履いてたと、ちょっと通訳の思いを聞かせてください。
それは試合終わるまで知らなかったですけど、やっぱりこうプレーするのは僕ですけど、そうやって、サポートしてくださる皆さんが、そういった姿勢で、サポートしてくださっているので、そういうのがこの、今日みたいなプレーにつながったり、今シーズンのプレーにつながったと思うので、本当に感謝します。
On your right, Yoshi.
お疲れ様です。おめでとうございます。率直にこれだけ投げて今何がしたいですか？
いやもう帰りたいです。はい、
なんかお祝いとかされますか？なんか
いやまあまだ何も考えてないですけど、まあとりあえずまあ優勝できたので、はい、それが一番嬉しいです。はい。
And the second row, Yoshi.
おめでとうございます。カーショー選手ね、このシーズン最後で、優勝することが一番の花道だとおっしゃってて、その通りになった、そのことに関してと、優勝決めた後、カーショー選手にどんな言葉をかけられたか教えてください。
今までで一番強いハグをしていただきました。はい、本当に頑張ってよかったなと思いましたし、やっぱり、何にも表せれないような、はい、そんな喜びを感じました。
Got 3 more. The next row.
投げるかもしれないというのはあったと思うんですけど、クローザーを務めるっていうことをどのくらい想像してたかっていうことと、あと MVP のトロフィーはかなり重そうでしたけども、やっぱり腕に負担がかなりあったのでしょうか？
最初は、第3戦も延長戦ありましたし、何があるかわからないっていう気持ちで、試合に合わせていこうとなったんですけど、展開によってはなんかクローザーもあるかもみたいなってきて、すごい不安な気持ちになりましたけど、なんていうんだろう、なんとか結果投げれたんで、何の質問でしたっけ？
そのクローザーっていうのがあるかっていうのと、
はい、
それとトロフィー重かったんじゃないですか？
トロフィーは重かった、はい、普通に重かったです。はい、別に疲れとかじゃなく、はい。
Two more, Daisuke and then Nobu. Daisuke on your right.
Yes. おめでとうございます。今日短いイニングだったんですけど、ピンチも2回あって、で2回とも外野フライも打たせられない場面でしっかり内野ゴロを打たせて切り抜けたんですけど、シークエンスっていうのはある程度自分の考えた通りの投球ですか？
なんていうんだろう、とりあえず不用意な投球というか、なんていうんだろうな、そういった例えばゾーンに入れに行くような投球だけはやめようと、基本のことですけど、そこを意識して、高さだったり、コースだったり、本当に基本のことばかりですけど、そこに集中して、なんとか、投げました。はい、
すみません、もう一つだけ、先ほど矢田先生がリカバリーがうまくいった理由としてオフローがあったのが大きかったという話をされていたんですけど、これトロントの話で実際に効果はかなりあったんですか？
このメジャーの球場はビジターもどこも準備してくれてるんで、はい、今日試合前、はい、温めました。はい。
I'll finish up with Nobu on your left.
おめでとうございます。自分の中で今日はその限界を超えたというそういう感覚ってあるんですか？それとあともう一個いいですか？あとその怖さみたいなものっていうのはマウンドに上がるそのやったことがないという意味での怖さみたいなものっていうのはどうだったですか？
限界を超えたっていうような感覚はないですね。投げれるっていう、そのチームも、僕がいけるって言わないと出さないからっていう、ように声かけていただいたんで、なんていうんだろうな、気持ちに余裕を持って、準備できたと思いますし、そのおかげでいいピッチングになりましたし、そうですね、限界超えたっていう感覚はないですけど、このプロに入って2日連続、登板するっていう経験は初めてだったんで、そこに関してはまた一つ新しい自分がなんていうんだろうな、いけるんだっていう、自信になりました。
そういう意味で怖さというのは全くその行く時点では全くなかったですか？そういう
もちろん、こういった落とせない試合だったり、そういう時はやっぱり怖さというか不安というか、失敗したらどうしようっていうそういうネガティブな気持ちから登板前はやっぱ緊張とか、そういったものはもちろん来ますけど、なんていうんだろうな、しっかり落ち着いて、集中して、深呼吸して、いつも通り試合に入りました。
最後のアウトの瞬間どうだったですか？
もう本当に、信じれないというか、最後何投げたかもちょっと思い出せないようなそういった興奮がありましたし、 もうチームメイトがこう自分のところに来てくれた時にはすごくこう本当にこう今までで一番ぐらいの喜びを感じました。
涙はなかったですか？
いや涙出ましたね。はい、すごく久しぶりに、もう溢れてきました。はい、すごく嬉しかったです。
ありがとうございます。
Yoshinobu, congratulations on a world championship will never be forgotten. That's a wrap in here. Thanks to everybody for their coverage. Get home safe. And it was a World Series that will never be forgotten. So thank you.
Sort of stormed the field. That was the fourth inning. The team's trying to, make sense of that last play, which hit one of the Jays players. In that moment, as the teams are storming the field, there's a moment where Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not a baseball player. He's a hurdler.
Yes.
Because he just went right out of the dugout and eyes fixed on the Dodgers, and he was like, "Oh no, not our team. Do not touch them."
Like a bull that just saw red, he went charging the field, didn't he? I mean, this was a spectacular, unbelievable scene in the Game 7 with everything on the line in the fourth inning. Andres Jimenez was hit by the pitch. What precluded that were two really tight inside high pitches. And then that third one finally hit him, and tempers flared over. But yes, Vladdy was ready to take to the field. He's ready to put a home run jacket on all of his teammates.
Yep.
He's ready to charge the field for his teammates. It was a wild scene, and it took a long time for tempers to settle. And inside the stadium, Adrian, it was like a hornet's nest in there.
So tell me, because we've seen players hit before, we've seen it come close before. What is it about what happened there that just set them off?
The previous two pitches.
Why though?
They were both high and inside.
So close to somebody's head.
To his head, to Jimenez's head. And so it's a bit of a warning shot, a bit of a mind game. Maybe the pitcher at that part thought that Jimenez was crowding the plate.
Yeah.
So you throw some high heat, say, back off, I'm in charge here. Then he did it again.
Yeah.
Then he did it a third time, and Jimenez sort of gestured emphatically, and then all the sparks started to fly. So it was a warning shot. They didn't like it. It was probably warranted for all of that tension to boil over, but it also speaks to all the tension. Yep. They were all bottled up, and that was a bit of a release.
And let it go. Okay, Devin, I got to say, I loved that you were here. Thank you for all your insight. I especially love that you bolted to go watch the game in the middle and then came back. Only you would do that. Thank you very, very much. I think you've taught all of us a ton. It's been a joy to hang out with you.
My pleasure.
What are we talking about? We're talking about, a devastating loss for the Jays after that nail biter Game 7. Can you believe it went to extra innings as the Dodgers win 5-4 and become this year's World Series champions? While we can, why don't we take a look at some of the highlights? Before we do that, though, a huge thank you to all of our reporters. Lane, who's been wandering around, Jamie Strachan, Greg Ross, Deanna Sumnak-Johnson, Ashley Fraser, David Common, people all over this country who were ready of a story of a win. It's not what they got, but they got a heck of a run and a heck of an October. Let's have a look.
Who hits it high in the air to deep center? It is gone! Smith comes in. 2-2. Definitely. What is going on? And now here come both dugouts. The dugouts are clearing. Marshall coming in, makes the catch. Here comes Betts. And he will score. A line drive right center. And it's going to go to the wall. Clement is around third and on his way in. Bouncer to first. Guerrero to get the lead runner back to first. They turn two. And a ball hit to deep left field, and it's gone. High fly to left. He's hit it a long way. And it's gone. And the pitch. And a broken bat grounder to short. And the Dodgers turn it and win it.
And look at that. And now look at this. This is a live shot right over, we'll get it up there in a second. There you go. A live shot of the Rogers Center at basically almost 2 o'clock in the morning. The clocks are going to go back. Sadly, we cannot turn back time. We cannot change the results of this. Los Angeles Dodgers, well done to you. Blue Jays, this country loves you. Thank you all from all of us here at the Rogers Center and all our teams all over. Get some sleep, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Adrienne Arsenault.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven to restore skin's moisture barrier for 72-hour hydration. Aveeno.
Oh, welcome back.
Tim's new craveable wraps. Craving something? Get your snack on with crispy seasoned chicken, lettuce, tomato, and your choice of Chipotle or ranch. For a limited time, grab any two for just $7.
During cold season, a single sneeze can